All right, hello, movie fans. In light of me doing my favorite live action Blade movie video the other day, tonight I decided to try and do my favorite Star Trek movie video. This is going to be my favorite Star Trek TOS movie list. My top 7. Yes, I did say 7. You're wondering why do I say 7? If you watch the video, you will find out a little later why I say 7. There is a reason behind it. So, we're going to go from worst to best. What is the worst? Number 7 would be Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Now, this movie came out in, I think it was 1989. And as the title kind of suggests, The Final Frontier, it was meant to be the last Star Trek movie. It obviously wasn't, because that movie bit. Now, there were a couple of good points to that movie. Really. There was Nichelle Nichols doing her little fan dance. Even at her age, she looked damn good doing that fan dance. And then, of course, you have McCoy saying, "What does God need with a starship?" Everything else about that movie sucked. It bit hard. And, Shatner, I think Shatner wrote and I know he directed it. I think he wrote it. And, I've read some of his books, and he's a really good writer. But I just don't know what the hell he was thinking when he wrote this movie. Because this movie was horrid. It was bad. And aside from those 2 points, it was so bad they couldn't even get ILM to do the special effects in this movie. It was okay, no. Bad. Bad, Shatner. Bad. Yet almost pulled a Star Trek 10 and killed the franchise. All right. Bad. So, let's move on from there. That was number 7. Number 6. The second worst original series Star Trek movie would be Star Trek the Motion Picture, or what some people would call Star Trek the Motionless Picture. I was 10 years old when that movie came out in 1979. I remember the weekend specifically. I am a Steelers fan. I was going to sit there and watch the Steelers versus the Rams Super Bowl. This would have been the chance for the Steelers to win this 4th Super Bowl, which they did. But, I was sitting there thinking, okay, there's plenty of other chances for the Steelers to win the Super Bowl. I didn't realize how long it was going to be before they did again, but that's not the point of this video. So I went and saw it, and, as a 10, I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. I don't even think I went that weekend, but, I remember watching the movie, and, you had the overture for about 10 minutes, and then everything happens, and you're like, wait, Shatner has more hair now than he did during the series, and, yeah, I was 10. At the time, there was one thing that I loved about that movie was the whole shuttlecraft going around the New Enterprise series with, showing what it looked like now that it had been refitted. I love the NCC 1701 refit. That ship is it's my second favorite Enterprise. next to the Enterprise E. Awesome looking ship. So I enjoyed that, but then, as I got a little older, I realized how bad that movie was. All right? Anyway, so that's 7, 6. Then we're going to go number 5. Fifth best movie. So we're, boom, boom, boom. That would be Star Trek 3. Excuse me. A lot of people talk smack about the odd, numbered Star Trek movies. With good reason. Because as we've been looking so far, you have number 5, you have number 1. Then we have number 3. Number 3 is a pretty decent movie when you actually look at it. Okay? So, you're just coming off Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. I'm not going to show you where I'm right now, where I think that movie is, but you're coming off with one of the strongest Star Trek movies ever done. Where do you go with it? Seriously. And then you have Spock dead. You have this super spectacular movie, and where do you go with it? Seriously. I can understand, what they're trying to do, because, you have, Spock leaning into McCoy going, remember, you have Spock dead, you've got Khan dead, you've got the ship practically destroyed. Where do you go with it? I can understand how these people might actually have a problem with where to go. And there were some wonderful points to that movie. You have the stealing of the Enterprise from Starbase. And that was really exciting. You have Christopher Lloyd as Captain Kirk. I mean, come on, Christopher Lloyd. This guy could do, this guy could make anything exciting. You've got the automated Enterprise fighting the bird of prey. I think this movie deserves a little bit more credit than it gets, because it is an odd number, and odd numbers suck. Yes, I understand, but it does a really good job. I think it is the best of the odd numbers. Now, let's go to the fourth worst. Now, which is kind of weird, because fourth worst now goes with Star Trek 4, which is one of the even numbers, and everyone knows the even number movies are better than, of the originals, are better than the odds. So, this is a continuation of number 3. You have Kirk, Spock, the whole crew stuck on Vulcan after committing mutiny, and stealing the Enterprise, all that other stuff. And they all decide to take the Klingon bird of prey that they got in Star Trek 3 back to Earth and say, mea culpa, mea maxima fucking culpa. I messed up, do with me what you want. What happens? There is some big phallic looking ship coming to destroy the Earth, so they decide to do something different in Star Trek. Time travel. Wow, who has never done time travel in Star Trek before? Go back and get George and Gracie the whales and save the universe again. Wow, it's not like Kirk has ever saved the universe. Anyway, so that's not bad. All right. This is, I think, while entertaining, I'm not saying it's not entertaining. I'm saying it is possibly the worst of the Star Trek even movies. Now, side note here. Side note. I went and saw this movie with my aunt. One of my favorite aunts. She's not with us anymore. She took me to see that movie. We went and saw it. And it is one of her favorite Star Trek movies due to the fact of a couple of things. It's non-violent. There's no shooting in this movie at all. Her favorite line in that movie is, "Admiral, there be whales here." A couple of months after she died, I saw an interview with James where they talked about James Doohan saying his favorite line in that movie was, "Admiral, there be whales here." I saw that. I picked up the phone to try and call her and realized, wait, can't talk to her to tell us she's not here. So that movie does hold a nice place in my heart. Still not the best of the Star Trek movies, but it does hold a wonderful place in my heart. Now, my third favorite Star Trek movie, and here is why I say there is 7 original series Star Trek movies. So my third favorite original Star Trek movie, Galaxy Quest. Come on, how could you not understand that this movie is going to be on this list? This movie is Star Trek in every way except for the title. It's a Star Trek movie. The only way it's not is the fact that it is Galaxy Quest. Tim Allen, William Shatner, Captain Kirk. You have Dr. Lazarus, Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy. You have Sigourney Weaver. She's Nichelle Nichols, right? You have what? I'm sorry. What is that black guy's name? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. He is Wesley Crusher, right? You have the other, the guy who plays Monk. He's, the engineer. I mean, this is Star Trek. It was originally written to have the Star Trek Next Generation cast in those characters. They just didn't agree to do it, so they have to get everyone else. I mean, this is Star Trek, and this is hilarious. It is a great movie. I mean, you have Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver trying to get into the engineering section, with the whole, get past the stuff. They're like, whoever designs this shit needs to be killed. I mean, that's a great movie. That is a Star Trek movie. Deal with it. If you don't like it, then you're not a fan. Okay, so that's number 3. So we're going to go down to Star Trek, my second favorite Star Trek movie. This is where it might get, if it hasn't gotten dicey already, here's where it's going to get dicey. My second favorite Star Trek movie, Star Trek 6. This is the way to end a series. All right. This movie was awesome. Now, little trivia thing here. Star Trek The Undiscovered Country was originally going to be the name for Star Trek 2. This is a reference to Shakespeare. The Undiscovered Country is the future. But it was... Obviously, it didn't happen, so we're going to go with number 6. This is a fantastic movie, and I know that it actually led to some problems between Gene Roddenberry and Nicholas Meyer, right before before Roddenberry died. Roddenberry did not like the militaristic attitude of that movie, and it led to an argument with him. But this is a great movie. It was fantastic. Has General Chang doing the whole quoting Shakespeare as they are blowing up the Enterprise, and you have Sulu as commander of the Excelsior. So we're going back to Star Trek, my favorite Star Trek movie, and of course there's only one movie left. I think most people can figure out what movie I'm going to go here now with. That would be Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. How could you not think Star Trek The Wrath of Khan is the best Star Trek movie ever? A couple of minor points that Chekhov was not on the Enterprise when Khan was there, and Khan recognized Chekhov. I mean, come on, seriously? Little minor problems, but oh well. That is the greatest Star Trek movie ever done. I mean, we're talking of all of them. Of all, 13, 14, if you want to include Galaxy Quest. But it is definitely the best of the original, 6 and then 7, including Galaxy Quest. So, Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. I mean, Ricardo Montalban. You have the original, Khan! I mean, this is awesome. So, of course, that is my list right there. That is my favorite Star Trek movies of the original series of all time. And let me know what you think. Am I doing stuff out of order? Am I adding Galaxy Quest in where I shouldn't? Give me your opinions. And either way, like your movies and like and subscribe.